It's Week 13 of the 2024 season, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Cowboys and the Commanders under the lights on Sunday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. These two teams met in our nation's capital earlier this season with the Commanders picking up the win at FedEx Field. So they're looking for another win here in Washington to take the season sweep. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Brandon, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
So here's Washington now in excellent field position to start things out. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll go play action. Howell. And it's caught. And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Marquise Goodwin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you that on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Inside give to Elliott. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Up the middle. Here's Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
On play action, Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A great effort there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Washington.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from a special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground.
He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Prescott to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Myers' kick is good, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Powell throwing on first down here. And his throw is incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Powell throwing on third down here. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 43. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Off play action. It's Howell. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Micah Parsons. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this.
Looking for Strong, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, they're running a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
Tackle made by Chase Young. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Here's Prescott. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Play action now. Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. From the red zone now, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Now Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Myers' kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Howell. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. Now Howell. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And once more, Howell back to the air. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 27-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. In motion, the tight end. First down, Howell to throw. And the man open here is strong. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Howell. And And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Howell from the gun. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Commanders would extend their lead here just before halftime. And this drive, Charles, very well timed as they score with very little time remaining in this first half.
And I'm reminded that they get the second half kickoff as well, so they can break this one wide open before the other guys have a chance to possess the football.
An extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is up to 8. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Joe Mixon, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one between the Green Bay Packers and the Tennessee Titans. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cowboys. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for Washington, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they go play action with Howell. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gets it to Strong. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there at a first down again. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Running the sweep with McLaurin. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
2nd and 5 now. Powell. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's good for 28 yards. Back to throw, Howell. He's got it, touchdown Commanders. From 6 yards away. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side, so now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if these guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
On second down, Elliott. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
The throw over the middle taken in. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
Again to Elliott. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Running with Elliott. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So the 4th down conversion sets them up with this. 1st and 10 at the 40. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Prescott. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Jonathan Allen able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2nd and 8. Prescott. This is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it in.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guy.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. Here's Prescott. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Extra point up and through by Myers, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
A give left side to Robinson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. Complete, it's Dodson. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On second down, here's the option. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find a way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
On first down, Howell. He's got it. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Say, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for the Commanders, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh